This is what you're here to see, the Samsung Galaxy S4 from Verizon Wireless. It just arrived in the mail. I'm going to unbox it, set it up, and review it all right now. This is Professor Adam Scott Wandt from John Jay College of Criminal Justice, which is part of the City University of New York. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2013, and I'm here with my Samsung Galaxy S4 from Verizon Wireless. Just arrived via FedEx. I'm going to open the outer box. My unboxing X-Acto knife. We get immediately a Verizon Getting Started guide. Looks like they have the 4G LTE SIM card not installed. Let's take a look. Gives us an activation guide. Also in the box is the Samsung Galaxy S4. Let's unbox this and take a good look at it. So here we are with the Samsung Galaxy S4. This is the box that it comes in. It's like a fake wood box. It's ultimately a pretty nice color box. So here's the Samsung Galaxy S4 on Verizon Wireless. It just came in the mail today. Comes in a fake wood box, almost identical, if not exactly identical, to the AT&T Samsung Galaxy S4 box. It does say Verizon Wireless right up here, though. It also says that it's a 16 gigabyte. As always, I've put a little piece of paper over here to cover up some of my phone's unique serial numbers and IMEI. It would be a bad idea for other people to get a hold of my unique serial number or IMEI. So let's open the box. This just slides off, just like the AT&T model, and then this lifts up. So here it is, the Samsung Galaxy S4 from Verizon Wireless. It does not look like this has been opened yet. The AT&T model, it came open with the SIM card already installed. However, the Verizon model did not. Let's put this aside. We lift up the tab here. In the box, we have some literature, charging cable, earphones, battery, and the charger. So here's what's in the box. Start with the literature. Comes with a Getting to Know Your Phone guide. And then a guide in another language. Global support information and calling card. Radio frequency admissions. Important customer information. And then the product safety and warranty information. So Verizon is giving you a lot of literature, a lot of paper right in the box. Not necessarily a good thing from an environmental standpoint. The charger comes wrapped in plastic and then further wrapped in a layer of removable plastic. This is a Samsung model ETA-U90JWE. Input 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz. So you could use this around the world with the proper adapters. The output is 5 volts, 2.0 amps. So that's the power supply. So this is the power supply. Standard micro USB charging cable, nothing special here. The battery. The battery says Samsung Near Field Communications. It's a 3.8 volt lithium ion battery. And it's rated at 2600 milliamp hours. The earphones are marked GH59-13091C. And they look like a standard set of Samsung earphones in the earbuds. And they come with small, medium, and large adapters. It looks like the medium comes on. They say Samsung down the side. When in the ear, they would look a lot like the Apple earbuds. So let's get all this put aside and let's set the phone up. Interesting that the literature tells me that if I'm upgrading from an iPhone, that I will lose my voicemail when activating my new phone. Luckily, I am not upgrading from an iPhone, so that's not an issue. This does come with a fairly complex guide to setting up the phone, including a phone number that I have to call to activate my 4G LTE service. Instead of doing all that, I'm just going to try to take the LTE card, take the SIM card right out of the box here. Little start manual telling me what a SIM card is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the SIM card right out of here, put it in the phone, put in the battery, turn it on, and see what happens. Let's temporarily ignore all the fancy setup. Going to pop the SIM card right out of here. Put it right in the SIM card slot. Now I'll put the battery in. Now I'll put the cover on. Now let's turn the phone on and let's see what happens. Holding the phone down, about 2 seconds in, I feel a vibration, and I'm letting it go. Phone turned right on, asking me to set it up in English. It's going to take a second to activate. Let's see if it could pick up the Verizon 4G signal. Getting an activation signal, it's just taking a while. I can see it trying to get a phone signal up top. So the phone did eventually activate, and here it is coming up, giving me my phone number, which I am blocking out just for privacy reasons. I will be using this phone for at least a few weeks, so I don't want my information out there. I did have to follow the guidelines for activating the 4G LTE SIM card. I did have to call the 1-800 number and put in my last 4 digits of my social security number and the phone number to get it activated. So to get this activated, I had to insert the SIM card and then call the 1-800 number. Not a big deal. And now we're going to next. It's bringing me through a setup wizard, which helps me set up and customize the phone. I'm not really interested in the setup wizard, though, so let's see what happens. Now, let's see. It's asking me if I want to sync contacts. It's interesting that it's telling me that previous contacts have been found in the Verizon cloud. As far as I know, I've never stored any contacts in the Verizon cloud, and I'm a bit curious to how they might have gotten there. I had an iPhone 5 and an iPad mini, both on Verizon before this. I've never asked any contacts to be backed up to the Verizon cloud, but let's see what happens. I'm just going to hit next. I do not want Verizon having a backup of my contacts, but let's see what happens. Now we're going to a setup wizard to set up email accounts. I could set up my corporate email, my John J. College email, Yahoo, AOL, Windows Live, Verizon, and others. And then Gmail is set up in a later step. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to set up my corporate John J. email account, and then I will be right back. So I just input my Microsoft Exchange server credentials for my college email account. And in the setup wizard, something very interesting is coming up. As far as I can tell, this is unique to Samsung phones. But if you look at the setup wizard for the email account, but if you scroll down, one of the options is sync SMS. It's the last option right there. I think you should take it off. When I set up the Samsung Galaxy S4 from AT&T, I left it on, and at the end of the day, all of my text messages were forwarded to my work email account. Could have been really problematic. I don't want all my text messages being forwarded to my work email account. And if you want to know how to stop that from happening, go to select sync SMS option and uncheck it. Other than that, the rest of these options are how I want them. I increased the calendar to 3 months, and I increased the period to sync email to a month as well. So this looks like it's all pretty much set up right now. Let's go to next. We'll hit next. So I've set up my corporate email. None of the others are needed. Let's go to done with accounts because it sets up Gmail in a later step. Step 4 of 6 is for location sharing. Although I'm a big privacy advocate, as a technologist, I like to share my location to see what features are available. So I will hit share my location. Next, it's going to go to the Verizon mobile account, letting us know that my Verizon mobile, I could set up account balance, usage, and payments. And finally, step 6 of 6 is asking me for my Google credentials. I do have Google. I'm going to stop the video for a second, input my Google credentials, and then we'll be right back in a moment. Now that I've input my Gmail credentials, it's asking me whether I want to restore from a Google account or keep it backed up to Google. And I don't think I want either one right now. So just for right now, I'm going to uncheck both boxes and then hit next. I think that's it. It's asking me to use Wi-Fi and to let Google access my location again. I'm going to hit yes to both. It's telling me that everything is set up and I am done. So I'm going to click done. I'm not going to sign in with the Samsung account right now. Sign in later. And here we are, the home screen of the S4. Let's now explore the home screen so we can find out what advantages it gives us. So now that we're at the home screen, it's a good time to take off the screen protector, the screen cover that comes with it. Put that aside. And here we are, the Verizon Samsung Galaxy S4 setup. It's very similar to the AT&T setup, although we have the Verizon apps, obviously, instead of the AT&T apps. We have an app for the phone. We have a separate app altogether for voicemail. I'll come back to this later. I do not want visual voicemail. I'm not a big voicemail person. Looking at the apps, here are the apps that come prepackaged. I'll just go through them quickly, so those of you who are interested in seeing what comes on the phone can. I cannot stand bloatware on Android phones, and this seems to have a good deal of it. So there we go. A little more than 3 pages of apps. And here are the widgets it comes preloaded with. Probably close to 10 pages of widgets preloaded. Now I'm going to go and play around with this phone. I'm going to set it up. One of the things I'm going to do is I've already went out and purchased the S-View flip cover from Samsung, the case that fits really well with the cell phone. So let's unbox that, open that up, and try that out. You can see the S-View window. On the bottom, we have the home, menu, and the back button. On the right-hand side, we have a single button for power. On the top, we have the IR blaster, what looks to be a noise-canceling microphone, a microphone up here, and then a headset adapter. On the bottom, we have another microphone and our micro USB. On the back, it looks like we have a speaker right down here on the bottom. There's a little bit of a lip over the speaker to keep it from resting completely flush with a table. We have our giant 13 megapixel camera and our LED flash. The 13 megapixel camera is flush with the case. It is not raised, a little bit different than our HTC counterparts. The volume buttons are on the inside of the crease once you put the S-View case on. The volume buttons are over here on the left, volume up and volume down. So that was a really good, quick first look of the phone. I look forward to playing with this and setting this phone up and giving you more detailed reviews going forward.